What the heck kind of lock is that? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another blade review here at Gideon's Tactical, where we're diving into the CJRB Krag. The Krag. CJRB is one of these new knife makers coming onto the scene from China that I have about 3 or 4 of their knives that have a lot of unique design features, and I saw this lock and I was like, I gotta pick it up. I gotta see what this is. What are they doing? Is it something that is awesome, or is it something that's just ridiculous? So this one, the Krag, actually comes in 2 models. This particular model with this lock that we're gonna talk about, or a liner lock. I had the liner lock version as well, gave that to a buddy. He loves it, carries it constantly. This one with their locking mechanism that we're going to dive into in just a moment. I will hit some very basic attributes and aspects to the blade right away. Cleaver design, very popular right now. Continuous sweep, so it's very cool on D2 steel. Good D2 steel. Seems to be holding its edge well, so decent heat treat on the D2. So definitely an upgrade over, like 7CR or 8CR, or something like that. More American companies that are outsourcing to China need to really be stepping their game up. When Chinese companies are not using 8CR and 7CR steel, no American companies should be outsourcing and making their, Chinese. If they're making it in China, they shouldn't be using that steel anymore. Just saying. Great swedging right there. Very cool. The blade shape really works. I think it's a 0.13. So nice and slicey with that very high grind, very, very high grind, really good. Good tip. So it really worked well. Great for food prep, general EDC, broad blade, 3.5 inches overall. Cutting edge is about 3.1 because of the ricasso. That is usable. You kind of have to hold it at a 45. It's interesting. If you hold it at a 45 degree, if you just go like directly in and I start like gripping way up here to try and get it, my finger is definitely hitting the edge. But if I use it back here, and I kind of, my trigger finger is at a 45, I don't touch the edge and it works normally. So it's kind of interesting. Never seen that before. It's not good or bad. It's just weird, I guess. G10, this is like a blue-gray. They have lots of color combinations. Steel liners that are milled, ambidextrous. You have a crowning shoulder on the pivot that's aluminum. This one happens to be like a bronze style. There are lots of different color combinations. Several different textures. This is a medium grip G10, so I really like that, and fills out my hand very nicely. Right there, good large cutout. Doesn't create a hot spot, nice lanyard hole, flow through construction, again, milled liners. Coming in at, I think, just under 5 ounces, like 4.8. 4.8, loop over. This is something that's really good. I've now reviewed several American, companies. They need to take note, seriously. I've said this a couple times now. These are recessed screws on the loop over pocket clip. This is a good pocket clip. I have 0 complaints with it, ambidextrous. That does not bind up, fits great. I mean, here's a case knife, huge, terrible, large screws that really bind up, not buried in. Here is a Kershaw made in America dividend. Those screws are not buried in, so you're kind of bogging down on it. Here's an Italian made force, like these are all quadruple the price knives with loop over pocket clips that have raised screws, and that limits the carrying capability and enjoyment. So everyone needs to start doing these recessed screws if they're going to go loop over. So no complaints there. Ball bearings running on ceramic ball bearings. Flipper design. Flips open, no problem. Super solid lockup. Now this is called their recoil lock. And now, having owned the Krag, the Krag in liner lock form and in the recoil form, the liner lock is much better. If you like everything about the design except for if you're trying to determine, I don't like this one. It's interesting. So it's a connected platform right here. So very interesting profile, ribbed. Slides back and forth, and is a crossbar design. So what they're basically going after is like the axis lock. Here's a SOG tack, super cool, excellent blade. Come on, focus camera, there we go. design. So it has that same style. It's a crossbar, you know, moves back and forth. You're moving it back and forth. There we go. You can see it right there. And it's like connected and then slides underneath the handle scale and rides. So the spring is really snappy. I like that. All of it in theory is good, and you can engage it from the top and pull back and close. I'm gonna try and do this on frame here for you. The flipper action is good, but here's what happens, okay? You have to do this really weird, if you pull back, you have to get it moving fast enough and then get your finger off, because the flipper covers the back end there, so your finger will stop it from closing. So it's not fun. You have to do this like, ah, and like, oh, your finger has to recoil out of the way in order to let the flipper get to where it needs to be to then close the knife. I don't like that. And it's so high that you can see here they did this milling on the sides, like, I think they literally copied it from SOG, I'm just gonna say. It looks exactly like that SOG right there. But because the SOG is where you would want it in the middle of your hand, you know, like right there, it's easy to engage and then open and close and do all that. And this one has a flipper too. You know, I can flip and then I can close and my finger doesn't have to get out of the way because that's just coming up there. This one, I have to go so high out of the way to then operate it in a pinch grip like that, to then let the, you know, flipper come in. So you can do it, but now look at that. I mean, I am not in control of the knife. It's very weird and awkward. I mean, if this was just a crossbar lock down here, then yeah, totally, let's do it. But it's just so weird and awkward. I do not like the recoil lock. I do not think it's good. I do not like it, Sam I Am. I do not like the recoil action. I don't know. So everything else about the blade, really cool. And again, the liner lock version I had and really enjoyed and gifted it to a friend. I just didn't know if I would ever get around to doing the video, and then I saw this after. I'll try and run a shot if I can of me having it. He loves it, and if you like the cleaver design, go that direction. But this recoil lock is very weird, and everything else about the blade, for I think I paid $38 for it, which is wild. So $38 for the blade. Really cool, and I think the liner lock version is maybe $5 more. It's like 40, 45 bucks. So extremely budget friendly for a lot of great features and great, you know, like fit and finish and designing and stuff like that and materials. But that particular locking mechanism, I would go in the different direction. So they do have a few other models that have that. I did have one. And the flipper was even more aggressive. It was just this weird, it just didn't work. So I've had two now with the recoil lock. I don't like it. Go in a different direction. I've said it 50 times now. But I want to hear from you guys. What do you think of CJRB as a brand? Do you have some of their other models? I'm working with one of their other blades right now. You know, playing around with it. I don't know if we'll do a video on it, maybe, maybe not. And do you own the recoil lock? Do you like it? Do you not? Want to know from you guys. Appreciate you. I invite you to subscribe if you're not yet a subscriber. Links below for you to check out this blade as well as the other version and other blades like it, and just appreciate when you use all the hyperlinks that we offer to you guys in the description box below. Smash that like button and check out the other video. Until next time, always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared, and I'll see you out there.